Have you ever leaned down to give your dog a good morning kiss, or let them curl up right next to your face on the couch, and then just recoiled? That warm, kind of rotten smell hits you out of nowhere, and for a second, you actually feel guilty for pulling away from your own dog. Maybe you've tried the dental chews, the vet-approved toothpaste sitting half-used in a drawer, even brushing their teeth once or twice before your dog turned it into a wrestling match, and nothing really worked long-term. What if I told you that one of the most effective ways to fix chronic bad breath in dogs doesn't involve wrestling a toothbrush into their mouth at all? And it's something you can literally do with a spoon from your kitchen drawer. You're probably thinking, okay, come on, Dr. Vital. That sounds like one of those internet gimmicks. Is that actually real? And I get why you'd think that. But yes, this is real, and it's not some random trick I saw online. This is something backed by actual veterinary dental science, the same principles we use in clinical practice to manage oral bacteria and plaque in dogs every single day. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Vital, and welcome back to the channel. Now here's a statistic that shocks almost every pet parent I share it with. By the age of 3, over 80% of dogs already have some form of active dental disease. Not just bad breath, actual disease happening quietly under the gum line, often with zero obvious symptoms until the smell shows up. And if you didn't know that, you are not a bad pet parent. Nobody tells you this. Vets mention it in a rushed appointment, you nod, and then life happens and it slips your mind. So don't beat yourself up. What matters is what you do from this point forward. So go ahead, grab a pen and a notebook, because in the next few minutes I'm going to walk you through exactly what's causing that smell in the first place. The one spoon trick that can start making a real difference in as little as a week, a couple of simple additions to your dog's routine that support it, and, just as important, the warning signs that tell you when bad breath isn't just bad breath anymore, and it's time to actually get your dog checked out. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your dog's mouth, because understanding this makes every tip afterward make a lot more sense. That smell you're noticing isn't your dog's natural scent. It's bacteria. Your dog's mouth, just like yours, is constantly building up a thin, sticky film called plaque, made of bacteria, food particles, and saliva proteins. If that plaque isn't removed, it hardens into something called tartar, which is basically cement-like buildup on the teeth, usually a yellowish-brown color right along the gum line. That tartar creates the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive, and it's those bacteria, releasing sulfur compounds as they break down, that create the odor you're smelling. It's not garbage breath because your dog just smells like a dog. It's a bacterial issue, and bacterial issues can be managed. So here's your first actionable step, and this is the spoon trick I promised you. Take a regular teaspoon and mix a 1/4 teaspoon of food-grade coconut oil with 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda right there on the spoon. No bowls, no mess. Coconut oil has natural antimicrobial properties, meaning it actually helps reduce certain bacteria in the mouth, and baking soda gently neutralizes acidity and helps break down odor-causing compounds. Let your dog lick it directly off the spoon once a day, ideally in the evening after their last meal. It takes maybe 15 seconds. Most dogs genuinely enjoy it, and there's no fighting involved. Now, the safety note here, don't use peppermint or cinnamon-flavored baking soda products, and never use xylitol-sweetened anything, because xylitol is highly toxic to dogs even in tiny amounts. Stick to plain, pure baking soda and pure coconut oil, nothing else mixed in. Let's move to the next one, because the spoon trick works even better when it's supported by what's happening the rest of the day. Hydration plays a much bigger role in breath than most people realize. When a dog is even slightly dehydrated, saliva production drops, and saliva is actually one of your dog's natural defenses against bacteria. It helps wash away food particles and dilute the bacterial load in the mouth. Less saliva means bacteria just sit there and multiply. So here's the actionable piece. Add a water additive designed specifically for canine oral health, the kind vets often recommend, at the dosage on the label, usually around 1 capful per 8 ounces of water, refreshed daily. These are formulated with ingredients like chlorhexidine or specific enzymes that reduce plaque-forming bacteria right in the water bowl, with zero effort from you. The caveat here: introduce it gradually, because some dogs are sensitive to a change in water taste and might drink less at first, which defeats the purpose. Mix it with their regular water for the first few days, rather than switching all at once. Now here's something even more important, and it's a piece a lot of pet owners completely overlook: diet texture. If your dog eats primarily soft, wet food, it's genuinely easier for food particles to stick to the teeth and gum line compared to dry kibble, which has a slight mechanical scraping effect as your dog chews. That doesn't mean wet food is bad. Plenty of dogs need it for medical reasons. But it does mean the oral hygiene routine needs to work a little harder to compensate. If you saw the thumbnail of this video saying, "Stop your dog's bad breath with this one spoon trick," this is exactly why I'm layering in these supporting habits. Because the spoon trick handles the bacterial side, but diet handles the mechanical side, and you really want both working together for lasting results. So the actionable tip here, once or twice a week, offer a dental-specific kibble or a raw, appropriately sized dental chew, appropriately sized meaning large enough that your dog can't swallow it whole, for roughly 10 to 15 minutes of chewing time. The physical act of gnawing helps scrape plaque off the tooth surface before it hardens into tartar. Safety note: always supervise chew time and avoid anything rock hard like real bones, antlers, or hooves, because those can actually fracture teeth, which ironically creates a whole new dental problem on top of the one you're trying to solve. Let's talk about something a little more surprising next: fresh herbs. Parsley, specifically flat-leaf parsley, contains chlorophyll, which has a mild natural deodorizing effect, and it's completely safe for dogs in small amounts. I've had clients genuinely shocked at how much a tiny daily habit like this helps as a supplement to everything else. The actionable step: finely chop about 1 teaspoon of fresh parsley and sprinkle it over your dog's food once a day. It's not a replacement for anything we've already talked about. Think of it as a finishing touch. The caveat, and this one's important: this is specifically flat leaf or curly parsley, not spring onion, not chives, not anything in the onion or garlic family, because those are toxic to dogs, even though people sometimes confuse them for safe green garnishes. Always double-check what you're actually picking up. Now let's move to the next one, and this is where I want you to really pay attention, because this is the part that separates temporary fixes from long-term results. Actual mechanical cleaning still matters, even with everything else we've covered. I know brushing feels like a battle for a lot of you, so here's a gentler entry point. Instead of starting with a toothbrush, start with a finger brush, which is a small silicone cap that fits over your fingertip with soft nubs on it. It feels far less invasive to your dog than a hard plastic brush shoved into their mouth. Use it with a dog-specific enzymatic toothpaste, never human toothpaste, because ingredients like fluoride and xylitol in ours are genuinely dangerous for dogs, and gently rub it along the outer surface of the back teeth, where tartar builds up fastest, for about 30 seconds, 2 to 3 times a week to start. You don't need to be perfect or thorough on day one. The goal is just getting your dog comfortable with something touching their mouth regularly, and you can build up frequency and technique from there. The safety caveat: if your dog's gums bleed even slightly during this, or they flinch and pull away in obvious pain rather than just mild annoyance, stop and don't push through it, because that can be a sign of already inflamed gum tissue that needs a vet's attention before you continue. Here's something even more important that I want to bring up before we wrap up the main tips, and it's about how these methods work together, not all at once. I know it's tempting, especially after hearing 5 or 6 tips in one video, to want to do everything simultaneously starting tonight. Please don't. Introduce one change at a time, give it about a week, and watch how your dog responds, both in terms of breath improvement and in terms of how well they tolerate it. Piling on coconut oil, water additives, new chews, parsley, and brushing all in the same 24 hours can upset a sensitive stomach, and then you won't even know which change actually caused the issue if something goes wrong. Slow and steady genuinely wins here. And this next part is the one I really need you to hear, because I say this in clinic all the time. Bad breath is often the first noticeable symptom of something bigger, and there's a point where home care isn't enough anymore. If the smell is extremely strong, almost metallic or ammonia-like, rather than just unpleasant, that can actually point toward kidney issues, because kidneys that aren't filtering properly allow waste products to build up in the blood, and some of that gets released through the breath. If the smell is sweet or fruity, that can be a sign of diabetes. And if you notice the smell paired with visible red or swollen gums, drooling more than usual, pawing at the mouth, or your dog suddenly avoiding hard food they use to eat fine, that's not something a spoon trick or a water additive is going to fix. That needs an actual veterinary exam, possibly including a professional dental cleaning under anesthesia, where we can properly assess what's happening beneath the gum line that you simply can't see at home. I'm not saying that to scare you, I'm saying it because catching these things early makes treatment so much simpler, cheaper, and less stressful for both you and your dog than waiting until it becomes an emergency. So, to bring it all together, chronic bad breath in dogs almost always comes down to bacterial buildup, and the spoon trick with coconut oil and baking soda gives you a genuinely easy, low-effort daily habit to start addressing that tonight, supported by better hydration, smart diet choices, safe herbal additions, and gentle mechanical cleaning, all introduced gradually and paired with real attention to warning signs that go beyond normal bad breath. I'd genuinely love to know, when you go try the spoon trick tonight, does your dog lick it up eagerly or give you that suspicious side eye first? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and it honestly helps me know what to cover next. If this video helped you feel even a little more confident about caring for your dog's health, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed yet, consider joining us here. We've got a lot more of these practical, science-backed tips coming your way. Until next time, give your dog a little extra scratch behind the ears for me. You're doing better at this than you think. This is Dr. Vital, signing off.